I'm going to ask you to begin lying down. And once you lie down, try to bring, if you can, the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall open like butterfly wings. So this pose is called Supta Baddha Konasana. And Supta Baddha Konasana is a really good, what we call hip opener. And it allows you to slowly release tension in your hip joints. So as Westerners, we tend to carry a lot of tightness and tension in our hips. Part of it is because we spend so much time sitting. And now we might be sitting even more than usual, right? Since we've been indoors for so long. And when you hold this pose, this Supta Baddha Konasana for a while, what you're doing is you're letting all of the ligaments around your hip joint to release and relax. It's not a natural position to be in, so whenever we come into an unnatural position, our body's tendency is to tighten and to guard, to protect. But if we stay here for a little while, taking some nice, big, smooth, calming breaths, it sends a message to our body that everything's okay. And it allows things to start to let go. So we're going to stay here for a few more breaths and just let your hand now rest on your belly. And see if you can notice the rise and fall of your abdomen as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And perhaps you pay a little extra attention to your exhale. And you notice that as you exhale, you can soften a little bit more. And then slowly begin to bring your knees together. And then bring your right knee in toward your chest. Hands can come behind your thigh. Take a nice breath in, stretch your leg up into the air. And as you exhale, bring your knee back to your chest. Inhale, press that heel up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring that knee to your chest. And one more time, inhale, heel to the ceiling. Exhale, knee to your chest. Stretch your left leg out. Take your left hand, hold on to your right knee, and drop that right knee across your left thigh. So you're coming into a twist, but you're also stretching that right hip. And then come back to center. Release your right foot onto the floor. Bring that left leg in toward your chest, hands behind your thigh. Nice breath in, stretch your heel to the ceiling. And as you exhale, knee to your chest. Inhale, heel to the ceiling. Exhale, knee to your chest. One more time. Inhale, heel to the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring your knee to your chest. Slide your right leg out. Right hand onto that left knee. And then you drop that left leg across your right leg. Come back onto your back. Bring both of your knees in toward your chest. Hold on to your kneecaps and start to make some nice big circles all the way around with your knees. And then reverse it, go around the other way. Come to a still point. Take a nice breath in. And as you exhale, bring your knees in toward your chest. And then as you inhale, push those knees away. And as you exhale, bring them back into your chest. This is called Apanasana. It's a nice, gentle lower back stretch. Inhale, push those knees out. And exhale, those knees come back in. Arms come back out to the side. Both knees come down to the right. Try to keep your thighs glued together. Head to the left. So your legs are hovering about 6 or 8 inches off of the floor. That's helping you or forcing you to use your oblique muscles here. And then inhale back to center.
And as you exhale, those knees come halfway down to the left. Your head turns to the right. Inhale, center. And as you exhale, stretch both of your legs up into the air, toes to your face. Nice big breath in. And as you exhale, lift your head and shoulders, reach your fingers toward your toes, and try to stay here for 2 more breaths. Release your head and shoulders. Arms come to your side. Bend your knees, feet to the floor. Press into the floor. Lift your hips, your lower back, your middle back, and your upper back. Inhale that right arm up over your head. And exhale, release it down. Inhale, left arm up over your head. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, lift your right leg up. And as you exhale, slowly try to lower it almost the whole way down. Inhale, back up. And as you exhale, release that right foot to the floor. Nice breath in, bring your left leg up into the air. Exhale, lower it almost the whole way down. Inhale, lift it up. And as you exhale, bring your foot to the floor. Lower your hips back to the mat. Bring your knees toward your chest. Arms come out to your side. Once again, knees halfway to the right, head to the left. Inhale, center. As you exhale, knees halfway to the left, head to the right. Inhale, center. That exhale finds your legs stretching up into the air, and then you reach your fingers toward your toes. 2 nice breaths. Big breath in. Exhale, 1. Another big breath in. And as you exhale, lower your head and shoulders, arms to your side, feet to the floor. Lift those hips high. Inhale, right arm comes up. And exhale, lower it down. This is shoulder mobility. Inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, both arms come up. As you exhale, stay here for a moment, spreading your fingers nice and wide. Take another big sip of air. And as you exhale, your arms come down to your side. Lift your hips a little higher. Shift your weight into your right leg. Lift that left leg up into the air. Slowly lower your left leg almost the whole way down. And then lift it back up. Bend your knee, foot to the floor. Shift. Now your right leg comes up into the air. Slowly lower it almost the whole way down. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Lift it back up. Bend your knee, hips down to the mat. And then you hug your knees into your chest 1 more time. Cross your ankles. Hold on behind your thighs. Big breath in. Exhale, lift yourself up to a seated position. Hold on to your knees so that you can gently press into your knees, helping you to lift up through your side ribs. Shoulders come up toward your ears, big sip of air. And as you exhale, release them back down. Float your arms up over your head. And then that right hand comes down, that left arm comes up and over, big stretch down that left side of your body. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left hand down, right arm comes up and over. Inhale, lift. And as you exhale, palms forward, begin to fold forward, release your head, your hands, your heart. Using your core, big breath in, lift those arms up. And then you sweep that right hand behind you, left hand onto your thigh. Turn your belly, your ribs, your chest, and look over that right shoulder. Inhale back to center, arms up nice and high. Start with that axial extension, that length in your spine, and then that left hand comes behind you. Right hand on your thigh, turn your belly, your ribs, your chest, and you're gonna look over that left shoulder. Come back to center, raise your arms up, and then sweep them behind you. Your fingers are gonna point forward. Draw your shoulder blades together, lift your ribs, lift your belly, look up. Nice big sip of air, and as you exhale, lift your hips, drop your knees. Release your hips back down. Switch the cross of your legs, whichever one was in front, now the other one is. And you once again draw your shoulder blades together, lift your belly, your ribs, your chest, look up. Big breath in. Exhale, hips lift, knees drop. Release yourself back down. You're going to take your left foot. You're going to put it on top of your right thigh. So this is a big hip stretch. Staying on the hip theme. You're going to place your hand on top of that left knee. Take a big breath in, lift up. You're gently guiding that knee down. And as you exhale, you're going to lean forward. So this is another situation where if we stay here for a little while, all of those ligaments and tendons around that hip joint will start to relax a little bit. So another nice big breath in. And as you exhale, lean a little further forward. Lift yourself back up. Pick up that left foot. Wrap your arms around it and start to gently rock it from side to side. And then you're going to take that left foot, put it down outside of your right thigh. Wrap that right arm around. Left hand comes behind you. Another twist. So big sip of air, lift up. And as you exhale, turn your belly, your ribs, your chest, and start to look over that left shoulder again. If you want to deepen your twist a little bit, you can take your right elbow, bring it to the outside of that left thigh, and use the strength of that right arm to kind of guide that left knee in a little bit further, and it's going to help you to twist a little bit deeper. Release yourself from the twist, and then you're going to take your right foot, put it on top of your left thigh. Pause for a moment, take a little inventory, see if this side feels any different than the other. Hand gently guides that knee down. So this is super painful. You can always stretch that front leg out in front of you. But we want to, kind of proceed with caution here. If your knee's up really high in the air, I can't see, but if it is, you want to gently guide it down. You're not shoving it down, right? We're not using force, we're using guidance. Big breath in, you lift up. And as you exhale, lean forward. Lift yourself back up. And now you're going to take that right foot, put it in the crook of your arm, wrap your other arm around, and rock it back and forth like a baby. And now that right foot comes down. Your left hand hugs it in. Your right arm comes behind you. You start with that straight spine. You take a big breath in, and your exhale starts to turn your belly, your ribs, your chest. And you look over that right shoulder. And then you decide, perhaps you take that left elbow against that right knee or thigh, drawing it in a little closer and using that arm almost as a lever to help you twist a little deeper. Come back to center. Stretch both of your legs straight out in front of you. And with your legs straight out in front of you, try to, once again, you're sitting up nice and tall. So notice if you start rounding your spine, we want to keep your back straight. Lift your arms up, big breath in. And as you exhale, with that straight back, reach forward, forward, forward until, I'm going to move a little back, until you can perhaps find your feet. So notice my back's not curved. I'm trying to keep it straight. You're going to take a big breath in. And as you exhale, bend your elbows a little bit. Once again, using the strength of your arms to guide you a little further forward. So Paschimottanasana, the pose that we're in right now, is a complete back of the body stretch. You're stretching the back of your ankles, your calves, behind your knees, your whole hamstring, your glutes. You might feel it in your low back.
your middle back, your upper back. Slide your hands up your legs, bend your knees, and you're going to lean back, hold on to your thighs, lean back, lift one leg up, lift the other leg up, chest stays high if possible, toes to your face, release one arm, release the other. 3 breaths, nice big inhale, exhale 1, another big breath in, exhale 2, one more big breath in, and as you exhale, bring your feet down, hold on to your knees. Now you can round your spine, tuck your belly button, tuck your chin. Inhale, lift your chest, draw your shoulder blades together, look up. And as you exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, tuck and round. And then come back to your neutral spine. Hold on behind your thighs again. Lift up one leg, lift up the other, toes forward, arms out. This time you're going to try to press that right foot forward and bring it back in. Press your left foot forward and bring it back in. Inhale right, exhale in. Inhale left, exhale in. Tap your toes and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Ardha Navasana, half boat pose. Hands come behind your thighs. Sit yourself up a little bit taller. Coming to full boat pose, you straighten one leg, you straighten the other. And then maybe you release one arm, you release the other. 2 big breaths. Big inhale. Exhale 1. Another big breath in. Exhale 2. Feet to the floor. Hold on to your knees. Curl your spine. Pull your belly in. Tuck your chin. We're going to lift ourselves up onto our knees. You're going to step your right leg out to the side. Right hand rests on your leg. Left arm comes up into the air, and then you're going to slide that right hand down your leg as that left arm reaches over. Big, big, big stretch in this whole left side of your body. And then you're going to lift yourself up. Let that left hand come down. That right arm comes up and over. You're creating length from the outside of your pinky finger to the outside of your pinky toe. And then big breath in, lift up. Knee comes down. Left leg steps out. Left hand on your thigh. Start to slide it down. That right arm's over your ear. Your arm is not all loosey-goosey. It's active and engaged. Inhale, lift up. And as you exhale, that right hand comes down, that left arm comes up and over. Big stretches through your rib cage, all the way down to the top of that hip, perhaps. Lift yourself up, back onto both knees. Hands come behind you. So you're going to let them rest on your lower back. And you're going to start to guide your hips forward. So as soon as you start to guide those hips forward, you're coming into a back bend. You're going to try to squeeze your shoulder blades together and look up. This is a version of Ustrasana camel pose. If you feel okay here, you can curl your toes under and reach behind you, see if you can find your heels. And then hands come to your low back. Flatten your feet. Draw your belly in. Hands come down to your side. Palms up. Roll those shoulders. Let them completely melt into the floor. Relaxing everything. And then lift yourself up onto your hands and knees. Starting with your right leg. Step it out behind you. Put your toes on the floor. Press your heel back. And then you're going to lift that right leg up. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Inhale, send it out. Exhale, knee to your nose.
Inhale, send it out. As you exhale, drop your right leg over your left leg and look over your left shoulder. Look forward, right leg comes up, left arm extends, balance, balance, balance. And then you're gonna bend that right knee, reach behind you, see if you can find that foot and lift your knee up so you get a nice stretch in that right quad and hip flexor. With control, release your hand down, stretch that leg out behind you again, point your toes to the floor, hold it here, and then tap your toes and lift, tap and lift, tap and lift, and then that right knee comes down, and right away, that left foot comes out behind you, toes on the floor, press your heel back. Lift your leg up. Inhale, knee to your nose. Exhale, send it out. Inhale, knee to your nose. Exhale, send it out. Inhale, knee to your nose. Exhale, send it out. Drop that left leg behind your right. Turn and look over your right shoulder. Look forward. Lift your left leg up. Extend your right arm. Try to keep yourself as still as possible. And then bend that left knee. Reach behind you. See if you can find your left foot. Lift that knee up a little higher. With control, release your hand. Leg comes back out. Toes point down. And you tap your toes and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Hold it. Knee comes to the floor. Curl your toes and ever so slowly lift up, up, up. Hips are high, heels get heavy, head relaxes. So here you are in down dog. Come up onto your tippy toes, bend your right knee, left heel stretches down. And then back to your tippy toes, bend your left knee, your right heel stretches down. Back to your tippy toes. And then both heels come down. Back to your tippy toes, rock yourself forward to plank, 3 breaths. Big inhale. Exhale, 1. Another big breath in. Exhale, 2. One more big breath in. And as you exhale, come down onto your knees. So now you're going to shift your weight into the right side of your body. Extend your left leg and your left arm and then roll your shoulder back. So now your whole body is facing, I don't know what direction, I'm facing the screen. Point your toes forward, thinking about your hip joint again. Start to move your leg forward and then move your leg back. And then move that leg forward, leave it there. Tap your toes and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Leg comes back, bend your knee, reach behind you, find that foot. Extend your leg, arm comes up, and then look up to your extended hand. With control, hand comes down, knee comes down, and you're going to shift yourself into child's pose, but you're going to bring your hips over toward your left heel and stay here for a few breaths. And then come back up onto your hands and knees. Now you're going to shift your weight into the left side of your body. Extend your right arm and your right leg. You roll your shoulder back. Notice how as soon as that shoulder starts to move, your ribs start to move, that hip starts to move. Arm comes up into the air. Toes forward, begin to move your leg forward. And then move it back. Move your leg forward, tap it down and lift. Tap and lift. Tap
and lift. Slowly bring it back. Bend your knee. Hold on to your foot. And then stretch your leg out. Arm comes up into the air. Look up to that extended hand. Release your hand. Release your knee. And then you're going to shift your hips over toward your right heel. Come back to center. Curl your toes. Once again, lift your hips. Drop your head. Heels get heavy, down dog. Take your left hand. Try to tap your right knee and bring it back. Right hand taps your left knee and bring it back. Left to right and back. Right to left and back. Big breath in, tippy toes. Exhale, plank. Tap your right knee and lift. Tap your left knee and lift. Right and lift. Left and lift. Tap both knees and lift. Both knees and lift. Both knees hover, hover, hover. And then they come down to the mat. Sink your hips to your heels. Once again, bring your arms behind you so you can soften your shoulders. Let yourself roll onto whichever side feels more comfortable and swing your legs in front of you. You're going to take your right leg, stretch it out, and then I have this up on a block so you can see my legs. Sorry, let me just move the block out of the way. So your right leg is stretched out to the side. Your left foot comes inside your right thigh. Again, your knee might be up here, or maybe your leg is flat to the floor. But this is stretching this hip, this left hip. And then we're going to start to pay a little bit more attention to what's going on in our right leg. Your toes point to the floor and let your hands slide down. You can even rest your elbow or your forearm there. And now that left arm comes up into the air. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, start to reach over. And notice what you notice here. You might feel this in the back of your right leg. You might feel it down the left side of your lower back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, lift up. And this time as you exhale, that left hand lands on top of your right hand. Turn and look to your right foot. And then you're going to slide your hands up your leg. Stretch that left leg out. So your legs now are nice and wide. In our Supta Baddha Konasana, the beginning of the class, when we were lying on the floor with those butterfly wings, your inner thighs were stretching. So hopefully this will be a little bit more accessible having done that. Reach your arms up, big breath in, exhale, come forward. So you want your heels on the floor, your toes are pointing to the ceiling. You're going to creep your fingers a little further forward, and then you can relax your head. And then slide your hands back. See if you can get your elbows and forearms onto the floor. And then relax your head. Lift yourself back up, and now your right foot comes inside your left thigh. Left hand onto your shin, right arm up into the air, big breath in. And as you exhale, you reach over. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, let that right hand land on top of your left hand. You can turn and look toward your left foot. Slide your hands up your leg. Bring the soles of your feet together. Similar to what we did lying down. Now you're doing it sitting up. So notice where your knees are, right? Notice if one knee's higher than the other. Maybe that's showing that there's a little disproportionality in the tightness of your hips. See if you can place your hands ever so gently on your knees, guiding them down while you sit yourself up nice and tall. And then you're going to hold on to your feet. You're going to take a big breath in. My elbows are going to rest on my calves as I bring my chest forward with my exhale. I'm going to pause when I feel everything saying like, okay, that might be enough. And I stay here for a couple of breaths. And then everything starts to release and relax a little bit more. And maybe my next exhale allows me to move a little further forward. And then relax your head. Lift yourself up. Lift those knees up, feet on the floor. Hands stay inside. Reach around. Find your ankles of your feet. Look at the position that your hips are in, right? So now we've done a lot of hip stretching. So hopefully your hips are open enough that as you come forward, you start to feel this in your lumbar spine, your low back. And then you're gonna lift yourself back up. Knees come together, arms come straight out again, and you're going to slowly, 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 slowly lower yourself down. Walk your feet back a little bit. Take your right foot, put it on top of your left thigh. Maybe you guide that knee down a little bit. Notice what you notice about what's happening in that hip joint. And then start to bring that left knee in toward your chest. Hold on behind that knee or behind your thigh, whichever gives you more leverage to help you bring that thigh in a little bit more. Stretch one leg up into the air, stretch the other leg up into the air. Right leg crosses over your left. Bend your knees. Try to hold on to your feet or your ankles. Same hip stretch in here. Don't be afraid. Use the strength of your arms to bring those knees in a little closer. And then you're going to uncross your legs, bring your feet back onto the floor for a moment. Put your hands on your belly, take a big breath in. And you exhale, pull your belly button back toward your spine. Another big, full, deep breath in. This time as you exhale, pull that belly button in and say, shh. One more big, full breath. And and now your left foot comes on top of that right thigh. Maybe you guide that knee down a little bit so you get a big stretch through your hip. And then you start to bring that knee in toward your chest, wrap your hands around, use your strength to draw that right knee in, getting a big stretch in your left hip. Legs come up into the air, and now your left knee crosses over your right. You bend your knees, you hold on to your feet or your ankles, and you use your arms to get those knees as close to your chest as you can, getting a big stretch in your left glute. Release your legs. Feet come down to the floor. Let both of your knees fall down to the right and just stay here for a moment. And then back to center. And then your knees come down to the left. Your head turns to the right. And back to center. Walk your feet a couple of inches, maybe even a couple of feet, like 3 feet apart from each other. And then you're going to let them fall down to the right. And you're going to take that right foot and put it on top of your left thigh, stretching to the top of your left leg. Release your foot, bring them back to center. So if your feet walk together, separate them again, and then those knees come down to the left. And that left foot comes on top of your right thigh, and you're using the weight of this right leg to deepen the stretch in that right thigh, especially the top portion of it, right, where that psoas muscle starts, and the outside where your IT band is. Release your foot, knees come back to center. Bring your right knee in, bring your left knee in. Make those nice big circles again. And reverse them, go around the other way. And then your feet come down to the floor. Stretch your right leg out. Stretch your left leg out. Float both of your arms up over your head. Spread your fingers as wide as you can. Take a big breath in. Hold your breath. And then exhale, let your arms come to your side. Relax your shoulders. Close your eyes. And try to pay a little extra attention to your exhale. So your inhale will naturally happen. But notice as you exhale how you can relax your facial muscles, how you can soften your jaw, how you can release your shoulders. How you can soften your belly. Notice as you exhale how your hips can sink heavily into the mat. We talked a lot about hips today, so pay attention to that exhale, helping your hips to let go. Take another nice big breath in, and as you exhale, try to feel the weight of your right leg, the weight of your left leg. Take another nice big full breath in, and as you exhale, let this exhale begin to guide you through whatever motions you need to go through to come back to sit. And once you're sitting with your hands on your knees, lift up through your side ribs, lengthen that spine. Notice if things feel any better through those hips. And then bring your hands together at your heart center. And take a moment, as always, to express gratitude toward yourself for taking the time to come to your mat this afternoon. One more big, full, deep breath in. And as you exhale, bow forward. Namaste.